This is like sandpaper, right? 17 years here at Gull Lake. I am Jesse Shaver, golf course superintendent at Gull Lake Country Club, and this is my story. My dad was an avid golfer, and I enjoyed being outside. Fresh air, sunshine, and getting to do something, with my father. Valuable time, even more so, as I look back on it. I worked at Pine Hills. They had a junior work program. So if you were a kid, over the summer, you could work 40 hours and you could play golf for free. So I started, washing golf carts, filling divots, weeding flower beds, things like that. It's actually how I got into the business. The superintendent at the time was a Michigan State grad and looked at me and was like, you could do this for a living very easily, and he was the one that helped get me into the turf program at Michigan State. Rest is history. Went to work for Steve Fiorillo over at Hawk Hollow and Eagle Eye, and then came here in 2007 as an assistant. Had great, role models growing up as to, what a family looks like and functions like.
You can tell that there was just a lot of time spent teaching him how to be a good man and how to be a good dad.
He's just a great leader. When you're driving down the fairway and Jesse pulls over and asks you, how's your round going? An hour later, somebody on his staff swings by and says, hey, how you doing? Those are the things that Jesse does every single day.
I think building teams is one of my favorite parts of the job for sure. Try to do team pictures every year just to highlight all of our guys, and it's fun to look back. I enjoy mentoring, young minds, and I'm all about hiring for the right attitude. You get the right attitude, you can train somebody anything.
I could feel the energy that this place has and camaraderie that we have together, and it brings us out on the golf course and physically shows us things that we need to look at with our eyes. It gives us all the opportunities that we need to succeed.
The more opportunity I can get for them to be involved and do a little bit of what I do is beneficial for both of us. Right now we're just putting down a heavy layer of sand. The big blowers have incorporated most of the sand into the holes. Aerification, after Labor Day is kind of the trigger to falls here. Celebrate what we did this year, but also start thinking about next year, what we can do now for it to rebuild, recover from the season that we had.
Not even a little bit. Mm-mm. So when I say what Jesse does, they're like, oh, cool, so he has the whole winter off, or, oh, cool, do you guys get to golf a lot?
No, nobody knows what they put into it, but it's the experience, it's refining your process.
Everyone has houseplants or a garden at home, but to maintain turf at 1/10 of an inch, have it produce quality conditions that we do from day to day, I think that's a separation.
Having a relationship with your ground staff and a great superintendent like Jesse, it makes it straightforward to recognize the level of effort and work that it takes.
The superintendent role can be a thankless job at times, and Jesse and his team step up to the challenge every single time.
Sam and I worked together for 11 years from 2010 to 2020. This is his toolbox right here. Losing Sam was a very challenging thing, having to walk back into the shop the next day. There's a lot of things that he custom fabricated for us. He could think outside of the box very easily. The brush on the back pulls the dried sand on the surface down into the holes. Eliminates a lot of brushing, brooming, dragging. There's a ton of people that would like to try to copy it and want to know where we got it. Early on in my career, I had, aspirations of serving on the board. It helps with networking, meeting people, understanding, kind of the behind the scenes of what the association does and the benefits that are to be had. My most important goal as president is to get families involved more.
His passion for everything that he does here is amazing, but also he's very good at leaving work at work.
I'm a huge proponent of enjoy your family. You only get to do this once. When the work day's done, go home, spend time with them. I've got a great team behind me that, supports me. The membership respects that, and they want to see that.
A lot of assistants have to spend 70 hours a week at their club in the summer, and Jesse recognizes that after those 70 hours, when you go home, you're not as happy as a person. Rotating weekends, he'll work a weekend and give both of us it off.
Prioritizing the family and the balance, that helps build the team and just that family atmosphere.
I am so lucky I get to go to a conference with him every year. It makes me proud, and it does allow me to meet and socialize with other wives that go through the same thing I do. Every day he comes home and, you know, the boys are like, "Dad, what'd you do today? Did you cut cups? Did you roll greens?"
They're my pride and joy. Love those kids to death.
I can't wait until the boys can come and like get a job here because they're gonna love it. They call it pitch because it's pitch black outside when they're getting up.
Being a part of you know, their school activities, sports, coaching their baseball team in the spring. I want to try to pour as much as I can into them, you know, during these years because we'll never get it back.